good, boys? What's good, boys? I want to start out on this NQ continuous contract. It's because I think it's pertinent. We open up with a huge gap lower, and we've delivered this on the daily chart. This just looks like a wiki price action here, a wiki candle, and then this is the volume imbalance, which is an actual fair value gap that I think is going to be very important. That's likely where we're going to draw into this next week. I do want to highlight this buy side imbalance. I want to look at this, and I also want to look at this as well, because this is probably going to act as inversion, and I want to see if we're respecting that on the lower time frames. Let's pop into the 1 minute. Okay, so that's that daily BISI on the lower time frame. Yeah, transpose on the lower time frames. We're within that right now, and then we have that BISI down there. So we definitely want to see it draw into here. Let's look at ES. ES has taken this low here and has drawn into this buy side imbalance here, but ES has this actual gap as well still. And that's in a deeper discount for ES versus NQ. We're pretty much almost at that level. We're almost there, and we have relative equal lows there, and we also have previous day low here. We still have buy side liquidity that rests here that we haven't made jagged yet. We still have initial buy side liquidity at 7 a.m. here as well, and we have this large inefficient candle here that I'm looking at. We have this large inefficiency. Anytime I have a large inefficiency, I'm going to grade that, and then we're likely going to come back down into that at some point in the day. We have this gap right here. I'm studying to see if we use it as inversion, which we're right at here. To possibly trade below these lows. It's important to notice that on the hourly chart, we have this hourly fair value gap. I'm expecting this to send price higher, and if it doesn't, that'll give me insight. So I want to see this used as discount to then trade up into possibly buy side liquidity here, and then if we want to get extended, we have a 15-minute premium SIBI here. That's what I'm possibly looking for. And if we obviously don't use this, that's very telling, and then we're likely going to dive into maybe relative equal lows and into that daily volume imbalance that we're looking at. What I also want to note, another important array is the first presented fair value gap of the week here on Sunday. Not first presented fair value gap on regular trading hours, but first presented fair value gap on electronic trading hours is right here. Extending that is the respect here. Used it higher here. Oops, I need to. This is just, I believe, Asia range. I was studying Asia. I wasn't able to watch price action live, but I was kind of just had it on my phone a little bit. We have this volume imbalance. That was how it's used here to trade lower. Used here just to take up this relative equal high. Then we're trading back manipulation, leaving relative equal lows, trading up and using it there. Then this is Asia range from high to low, and then obviously sell side is a good candidate. We take sell side, come back in the range, and then we have a reversal pattern from that. I'm going to delete it just because, I mean, although it still could be useful, I'd rather study London midnight opening range. And then at 10 p.m. we create a high, come back into that first presented fair value gap. We make London, or why am I just midnight opening range from 12 to 12:30. Here's your projections. We trade up, take buy side, come back in, almost hitting first displacement, but then trade back lower. Short-term low, in the immediate term low, come back up, change state delivery, boom, buy side imbalance, trade up higher into buy side liquidity, into buy side liquidity, into newbie company gap. All good targets. Look at first presented fair value gap on a Sunday, trade back up, Midnight opening range, touch to the T. That's when you get your displacement. And now we're around here. Nothing high probability, except for a probable trade back into here. That's kind of what I'm looking for. We do have that 1 hour for value gap. I would like to see support price here, but other than that, I mean, higher time frame is clearly bearish, so it makes sense to look for shorts. I do want to get the regular trading close. That was lying. I want to get this. Yeah. RTH settlement. Opening range gap high. Also goes bad. There we go. Let's label that. Obviously opening up with a discount market. So I do want to see if we would want to take buy side here and then maybe possibly trade into here. That would constitute some opportunity. I don't think I'll engage price today just because it's so volatile. Maybe if I trade anything on demo, like here to here is already like 60 points, which is insane. That's too much risk for me in my small demo account or my small live account. Like just to take this trade, I mean, yes, you could possibly get 60 handles, but what are you having to risk up here? So let's see if we want to draw into this inefficient buy side imbalance. ES, I believe this is the 1 hour BISI on ES. And we also have a discount BISI here too. Is price just going to run through these, or are we going to show some signs of respect to these? That's kind of what I want to study or be studying here. And then obviously you have this inefficient candle, because if we hold this one, then we could still trade up to buy side. You passed an eval? I haven't. I have a live account. I have a live account, so I don't have an eval. Okay, we're back in this BISI. I might delete these quadrants just because it might get a little too cluttery. We're also at minor sell side here. By the looks of this though, I would expect to see possible continuation here. Notice how we use newbie company gap low, like the bodies, to then trade lower. Inversion for value gap here. Hit there, sell side liquidity, inefficiency. Nice little bread and butter. Around 3 minutes till market open. No news today. I want to see if there's any orange folder. It's probably not going to do anything. Really, no orange folder news at all this week. Yellow folder. Notice how we're creating a wick here before market open. I want to see if market open does want to expand lower, or if we want to use this BISI as a discount array. We also have midnight opening range here. That I'm expecting to be used as a discount unless we start just rapidly trading through it. Like, volatility is insane here. What, like, how many points is this? This is 300 points. From here to here, this is 400 points. 400 point dealing ranges that we're within. Which is insane. That is insane. This is during overnight trading. So the 930 candle could possibly be like 200 points. Are you willing to risk that in these conditions? What broker do you use? I use Tradevate. I use Tradevate for my broker. I was trying to look at the trade station because I think the stop loss is a little bit more like you know, like the paper trading where you can like automatically drag your stop loss and your take profit. On Tradevate, it's they need to update it for Tradevate. Like they need to work on that. Live account is much better than prop. I mean, it really depends on your situation. I think mentally, live account is better, at least for me. All right, now let's see what 930 does. I want to see if we want to displace lower here, or use this area as discount. Like when I was trying to trade a prop firm, I was just thinking about like, okay, how can I pass an eval? Like when can I possibly get a payout? And I was just thinking about money. Whereas live account is more like, okay, how am I going to protect my money that I have? AMP, you can drag your TP and SL. That's nice. Maybe I shouldn't use Tradevate. Maybe I should use AMP. AMP. See if we want to use midnight opening range. At the low of this buy side imbalance, leave the little reaction there. And now we have our opening price at 930. It's down 931. Huge opening range gap. $600 handles. My main focus for this week is just discipline. Discipline and risk management. Those are my two biggest priorities this week. Like, yes. Hold up. ES is at midnight opening range, constant recursion or equilibrium. We're at this. We're kind of already using this as premium. So this might be a catalyst to expand us lower. That up close candle here. In this wick. Back into midnight opening range on NQ. Notice how we use the top of this buy side imbalance here. Use the top of it to then trade the lower. seeking this low. High frequency trade right there. Alright, back within this up close candle. And we just hit midnight opening range. We should respect this to trade lower into sell side within midnight opening range. And then we also have possible sell side here. How are we using midnight opening range? If we zoom out and just look at this on the 15-minute chart, is it super clear and obvious? I would say no. We do have equal lows here, and we just have had this buy side taken kind of within this new company gap. Now possible 15-minute SIBI. I just don't like how this range is kind of too tight for me. No, it's like kind of too compressed for me to look for these to be like a high probability draw. I would like to see something more drawn out. Something like this, which we can very well trade to these lows, but not something I want to do on a Monday, especially with these risk parameters. I'd rather wait. We hit constant encroachment of this, so we should remain heavy here. But notice how we don't want to take it though, because we just hit midnight opening range. ES hit midnight opening range low. It's midnight opening range low very nicely. Is there anything bullish about this though on the lower time frame? Not a single thing. Not a single thing. So I'd want to see price stay heavy here with a first presented bearish fair value gap, and let's see if we want to use that to trade lower. Like on the 1 minute chart, just staying heavy, It doesn't really want to trade up higher. Let's study this low here. Look at that opening price there. Constant encroachment, and then high of that fair value gap. Back within this first presented displacement on NQ. Take the midnight opening range. Where's the first displacement within that? Here. No first presented fair value gap yet. No first presented fair value gap. Same on ES as well. Why are my annotations not loading up? I want to see this low. Failed to create a fair value gap there. In first presented displacement. We can use that as first presented order block. Yeah. That this is technically the first presented order block. I personally haven't really studied like in depth like first presented order block, first presented breaker, stuff like that. Just because like an order block isn't going to be as strong as the draw and liquidity as a fair value gap. Which is why I think just a fair value gap's all you really need. You don't need to make it more than it is, you know. Coming into this 5:22 a.m. low. Possible first presented fair value gap here. Back at midnight opening range equilibrium. So you notice how we didn't create a first presented fair value gap? That's a signature that I wouldn't want to see. I wouldn't want to see if I was in this price run. We'd have to see immediate speed from this. And notice how we did that right before we got to this low. So like we didn't take this low and now we're already back in here. How would that feel? How many points is this candle? 73 points just on this 1 minute candle. Like these are why like I just don't really care to be in a trade today, especially on my live account. Notice the risk and just say, hey, I know this is not my last day as a trader. I know that today I'm not going to make $1 million, so I'm just gonna let it pass me by. All right, back within this propulsion block here. I'd want to see this drive price lower. I would need to see a drive price lower if we do want to stay heavy. Notice here the bodies as well at that first presented displacement. I'm gonna remove the quadrants for this fair value gap. Okay, that's what you would like to see. Now see if you want to drive to this midnight open range low paired with sell side. Still no first presented fair value gap yet. Wait. Why is that? I don't know what's up with my charts. Like some of them aren't loading properly. All right, draw liquidity hit here. Notice how we did react to this first presented fair value gap on Sunday. Trade up higher. I don't get why this isn't showing up on my. Why it wasn't showing up on this layout, but it's showing up on my other layout. That's weird. That's interesting. Notice how we traded through, smashed through these 1 hour bissies. and this one on E and an NQ, we traded up, uses inversion. First presented for value gap. See, because this is the Asian range I'd marked. See, did that get used? It did. Look at Asia range, 75%, 50%. It's where new redistribution happens. And now we're at 25%. Dang, that's nice. Alright, I would like to see price stay heavy. If not, at least retrace up into a... We don't really have a nice 5-minute SIBI. Real 1-minute SIBI either. So I would like to see first presented fair value gap get used. And if we trade above that, I would not like to see that. Alright, we're trading into that first presented fair value gap right now. Would want to see this get used to trade lower. I just don't like how we're using the body, like the bodies are respecting midnight open range low. We're still in a clear sell program though, so I would expect this to get used to trade lower. I couldn't really frame us trading up to buy side here. So I would just want to see us stay heavy. Previous day low is next kind of main draw on liquidity. And then on NQ1 we have the actual gap that we were looking at to start the stream. See, why is it not showing up on... Oh, this is my other chart. That's why. We have the actual relative lows, the actual gap. This is just an array I was studying. This is a wick. And also, it is something to note that we have that daily buy side imbalance here. Right here. Alright, notice how midnight opening range is getting used. Now we're trading up higher. This is not what I would want to see at all. I'd probably cut this trade. If anything, stop would be at midnight open range high. It is still possible for us to trade up into buy side liquidity. That is still possible, especially with this displacement. What model are you trading? I enter on a fair value gap. That's my model, pretty much. Think we're gonna fill a new week opening gap constant encroachment? Yeah, just by the looks at this. Once we get displacement, notice how we get displacement, especially through first presented fair value gap. I'm looking at what are we targeting? What is price wanting to target? I mean, it wouldn't make sense to. We don't have any liquidity that we'd want to just take up and then reverse from. So, look at these smooth highs here, and then new week opening gap, constant encroachments right here with this buy side liquidity. New week opening gap high, and then opening range gap high. I don't really want to get opening range gap constant encroachment. I mean, I might as well. Let's get that opening range gap constant encroachment level. Open. It's pretty much that, and this buy side liquidity pool. Look at this. That's what we use to low that. That's the breaker. It hit my limit price, but didn't fill me. Not meant to be. Wanted the bottom of this breaker, which is that first presented order block. That's what I wanted to enter on. Also, I don't really want to chase price now. Plus, it's just demo. That would have been a demo trade, not a live account. I just don't want to risk. I just don't want to risk this much on my live account, especially because my live account only has, or not only has, but has $1,600. I withdrew some money from it, so that's the live account. And like, if I'm having to risk like $200 for a trade, that's only 8 losing trades in a row. All right, let's just tape read this though. New opening gap low, that could be a partial. This wick constant encroachment could also constitute a partial terminus. And then if we want to get crazy animated beyond this 0.5, which is constant encroachment of the new week opening gap, if it wants to load, we have a premium 15-minute SIBI to note as well. Oh, here we go. We have this SIBI that we could also want to target. Dang, what is up with my trading view? Maybe it's my Wi-Fi. Very nice entry there. Already moved 170 handles. Like if I were in that on my live account, that would already be my weekly goal. Compared to 60-point risk, like I just don't want to risk that much on my live account in these conditions. It's like, yeah, I could make more money trading today. Like yes, today's a possible day to make a lot more money. It's also a day to possibly lose a lot more money. All right, now let's study how we use that inversion for value gap. See if we use it as a discount to then trade up higher. Notice how we use this 1 hour BISI. Now use that perfectly. Constant encroachment, trade it higher. Inversion for value gap now here. Look at the bodies, respecting that perfectly. We now have a wick in here, so this is all balanced here. So I would expect to see us trade up higher here. Already have used this. Initial buy side liquidity. New company gap cost of encroachment. That would have been a partial right there. New week opening gap low. Constant encroachment of the wick. See if we use this inversion for value gap here. Look at that constant encroachment level. Another partial. This 0.5 level is 0.75 of the new week opening gap high to low. The reason why I have the quadrants on it is because it's such a large new week opening gap. Okay, this could be another partial here. Majority probably come off here at this initial buy side. Why is it initial buy side? Initial buy side from 7 a.m. to 7:30, that range. Notice here how we generated relative equal highs here. And then 7:30. That's that low. We trade through this. Then we come back up, almost take buy side liquidity, tease it, trade lower, back into midnight open range. Sell side liquidity at 520. Here, kind of relative equal lows. If you just look at the bodies here, notice how these are relative equal lows. But if you look at the wicks, this took this low here. But by the bodies, those are relative equal lows. And then you have this discount inefficiency. And you also have first presented fair value up on a Sunday. Then we have first presentation today. We're trading above that, creating a balanced price range. Boom. Entry here. Trading up to buy side. For here, I guess for me, just something to note. If this were a live trade, I would not have got filled. It was demo, which is always a good place to learn. Should have used that low. Not trying to be cute with it. Just accept the risk. Your entry doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get the lowest on that tick. Although it would have been a great entry. 0 drawdown on that. If that would have got filled. The limit price got filled, but I wouldn't have got filled there. Okay, here buy side is taken. And then now let's see if we want to hit new week opening gap constant encouragement here. Dang, I guess I can't switch time frames because it'll just lag. I don't know why. Maybe it might be time for a new computer. My right screen isn't lagging. It's just my middle screen now. Do want to pull up in Discord though. Where was this? How do I like? I don't want to be like that. We'll just say okay. That's my terminus. That would have been my terminus. Another possible draw on liquidity is new week opening gap high, and then this premium 15-minute SIBI. Opening range is now complete. ES just hit opening range constant encroachment. How's it got a lag? I'm just gonna pull up the indicator. I guess I shouldn't be pulling it up. Okay, ES just hit opening range constant encouragement. Trust me on that. Dang, what is up with my computer? Maybe it's trading view. Is the stream lagging? Someone let me know. Okay, we hit opening range constant encouragement as well here on NQ. Oh, still kind of lagging. $400 points. 370 points. That's insane. That's insane. For one micro, that's like $800. Which, as a trader, I don't really want to be looking at the possibility of me making money, but the possibility of me losing money. All right, now see we're at that lower quadrant of new week opening gap. I want to see us support that here to then possibly trade up into this 15-minute SIBI in previous on Friday's range. We don't really have any clear inefficiency in that range until here. So this is kind of where I'm having my focus, but not needing this to be traded to. Just looking for this initially, and then if we want to continue within that range, do we want to trade into here? Excuse me. This is already enough. This is already enough for today. Like just this, like that's already enough. I know there's going to be another bus stop today. There's going to be another macro. There's going to be more opportunity for the rest of the day. So if you miss something here, there's no need to worry. There's no need to worry because I already trust that these things are going to repeat. And even if it doesn't happen to repeat today, it's going to repeat tomorrow. And if it doesn't happen to repeat tomorrow, then I'm just okay because I know it will repeat the next day and the next week. Bodies, respecting. This is my left monitor. I have the 15-minute chart view. It's gonna lag for me. I don't think it's my computer though, because if my stream is running fine, it's got to be trading view. If we look at the bodies here on the 15-minute chart, look at the bodies respecting this first presented fair value gap on Sunday. Is that random? So you left this as breakaway gap, trading to this balanced price range here, trading into this inversion fair value gap, all that converging. And now, for the rest of the week, we've created previous day low here that has relative equal lows in a clear sell model on the higher time frame. So this is very nice as a trader because if you look at this opportunity, we have opportunity to go long here, we have opportunity to go short here to capture all this, and we've left sell side liquidity here. So this is potential opportunity for us as traders to be able to trade back into this at a later time when it's right, which will probably be like either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. This week I do want to pull up Forex Factory because this is funny. This week, CPI and PPI are Thursday and Friday. In the beginning, like earlier on, like a month ago when I was kind of checking the economic calendar, that's kind of what I do. I kind of like to look ahead. This was on Monday and Tuesday, I believe, or it was Tuesday, Wednesday. They moved CPI and PPI this week, which is kind of weird. Like they're just able to move news on what day it's supposed to come out. Pretty suspicious if you have to ask me. The CPI PPI is usually like a Tuesday, Wednesday. PPI always comes before CPI. And notice here how CPI comes before PPI as well. That's crazy. PPI usually comes before CPI. Here we have buy side. We're back at that liquidity reference point. I want to see this get used. Trade higher. We could we have a 15-minute fair value gap below price here. That could form within 6 minutes, which is this low here, I believe. Yeah, it is. This low creates a 15-minute buy side imbalance. 945 low. Pretty big one too. Wait, it's right here. With this high and then this low is a 15-minute buy side imbalance. You can see that on the 1 minute chart. It's not as clear. First, when I saw your channel, I thought you're ICT son. That's what some people have said in the past. Could you imagine if his son was actually live streaming? I don't think you would. I can already tell that. No, I'm not going to say that. Alright, now it's nothing bearish about this chart. How many points is this candle? I just want to look. I mean, how has it even finished? 180 points. 200 points. 216 points. 232. 246. It's just still going. That's crazy. A 300-point candle. My oh my. In 1 minute. And notice how he hit this. Hit that Sibby. Crazy, crazy. That's your premium Sibby hit. That is really all I'm looking for today. I mean, this is just like stupid volatile. Stupid volatile. Volatile. Maybe we trade up into first percentage fair value gap and into this Sibby. Which you just don't know in these market conditions. What are we currently experiencing? What are the current market conditions? And then adjust. This is wild. That is crazy. Man, look, like, could you imagine if you were on the other side of this? Like, just imagine you're on the other side of this. It's probably like your first month of trading, and you're opening up a short here, and then maybe you add here. You add again. Like, your whole account is gone, toasted. 1,000 points within an AM session. I don't think that's really ever happened. I know for a fact that's probably never happened before. 1,500 points in one AM session. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen ever. Which is like, notice it, and like for me, I personally feel like, hey, I'm losing nothing just by watching this. Although I could have made money today, it's just a day where, like, I can just watch, and which is perfect about being a trader. Okay, we're in Friday's first presented for value gap already. I was like, okay, this might be a possible target for the end of the day, and we end up hitting that. Oh my, like, look at this. This is insane. %10 in a day. What is this, Bitcoin? Let's look at Bitcoin. I'm curious. I want to see it trade lower in previous streams. That's what I've said. And my charts are gonna load. Wish I was holding. See, that's the thing with like days like today where or just the conditions of a day. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's teasing. Bitcoin's teasing my target. That's what I want. I want to see this get traded to. And notice how like it's literally came back down almost to that. And then here we have previous arrays. You have midnight opening range. And then you have those projections. And then you have buy side liquidity here, which who knows if this wants to be taken today, which very well could. Very well could. I'm curious of like how long we're gonna keep volatility like this. Like, is this gonna be like for weeks, for months, or is this just gonna be maybe for like the rest of this week, and then we're gonna go back to normal volatility? Who knows? Who knows? No, this 280 points, just one candle. No. This is for gamblers. Like, yes, price action is still gonna deliver, but you know, if candles are moving this much, you're going to have emotions. You're going to have emotion. You're going to be emotional. I didn't post anything in tape reading today. I mean, I guess I still have live stream up. So what I posted this morning, important arrays for me, premium Civi, and then relative equal lows, and then this. If you want to join my Discord, it's in my community post. It's completely free. Completely free Discord. And if you haven't liked this stream, I would appreciate it if you could. Costs nothing but helps me out. I wonder how CPI and PPI are going to deliver. Like, if this is already what we're seeing on Monday. Because last week's NFP candle was nothing. It was like just regular. On Friday, we had an NFP candle that was just delivered like a normal candle here. Just a small wick. Can the new week opening gap be inverted? Yes. New week opening gap and new day opening gaps and volume imbalances will get used either way. But there are arrays you got to be most flexible with. I would not be surprised if today, if we start using these as inversion, which we already kind of are, we start using these as inversion to then possibly trade into sell side. We still have equal lows here. Like, this still is on the table. Nothing to trade though. Like, this is absolutely not what you want to trade. Because if we get through this fair value gap with speed, we definitely could be hitting those equal lows. Who is profitable right now? Bunch of long traders. Higher time frame, you have a bunch of sell stops resting up here. Those just got hammered. Now we're right back in that range. We're in this 15-minute Cibi. I'd want to see this get used as discount to continue higher, but if this gets ran through, sell side's still on the table. Which that would be one insane AM session. That would be one insane AM session. We're just at the largest casino today in the world. Get my little 250 points right there and just get out. Notice we're at opening range gap high right here. If this fair value gap gets traded through, I'm definitely looking for opening range sell side. I do want to get the projections of opening range. If here to 10 a.m. -1 standard deviation hit. That's a nice target. We fell just shy of -1.5. I'm gonna get rid of this. Yeah, me too, Lorenzo. This is just something to study. Because, like, we know the markets are always going to be like this. They're not always going to do this. This is something just to watch and study, in my opinion. It's crazy, bro. 300 point candles is insane. Like, if you're in on that, even on, like, 3 micros, that's minus $1,000. Or it could be plus $1,000, you know? Your trading view charts are lagging too. Okay, that's good. This is not just mine. ICT went long on ES and NQ today. Notice how we're at 15-minute civvy. Constant encroachment here. Did you read ICT's tweet? Which one? Bro tweets too much. Now I want to see speed past this low here. Let's see if we want to get aggressive. Yeah, he said he's not going to touch the chart this week. Eyes on the prize. Crazy volatility, yeah, for sure. I don't care to be in this on a live account. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Let it do what it wants to do. There will be another week for me to trade, where I can trade with proper risk. I feel bad for newer traders though in these environments. Like this would have been a day where I probably would have blown my account easily. Or if you are a new trader and you made like a lot of money on this day, like that's the worst. That's worse than making than losing a lot of money. You really don't know what to expect here because, I mean, obviously I'm looking for this to get traded to. At some point in the next 2 weeks, we just expanded. We could still use this as discount to trade higher. And then we also do have the possibility where we could trade back to the lows. Like you don't know what we're gonna get in this volatility. So I kind of just want to watch this, just let it play out, and yeah. I'm gonna be right back. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes. I gotta use the bathroom. 2 minutes later, and we back. Just missed the whole market delivery. Like we used that 15 minutes to be again with that 1 minute to be. Don't worry, guys. Only 400 points there. Only a nice little 400 point sell off. ES is at its new week opening gap low here. If we study ES, if we look at ES uses new week opening gap perfectly here. New week opening gap, and now we're at new week opening gap. So let's see if that causes displacement lower in the possible sell side. There is a 15-minute fair value gap that we're about to trade into, though. So also something to note. You have that 15-minute fair value gap, and then you have these. I might end stream soon. There's nothing for me to execute on today, and there's nothing that I want to trade at all. Too volatile. Was this yesterday's daily high? No, it wasn't. See, I didn't even mark like previous day high because for me, I was like, there's no way we're going to trade into that. Okay, ES is back within its new week opening gap. And NQ is within its new week opening gap, so I might come back on during lunch or PM session, but overall, the rest of today, we're just going to leave it up to the gamblers. This is something to tape read, not something to be looking to kind of trading and engaging. Why is ICT using the 942 candle as first presented for value gap? Should use this one. Did he use 942? Let's look at it. Should I have that off? Because this is like the first presented inefficiency. On ES, that's the actual first that's the actual first fair value gap you get. Whereas NQ, I mean, I'm not trying to teach all I don't know, but if we look at this, like this is the full range of that inefficiency. So you kind of want to factor in this fair value gap as well. But although for like future purposes, I'm just going to use this as the first presented fair value gap, even though technically it is the 941 fair value gap. But like as we see already, like within lectures, ICT is putting like emphasis off of narrative when he's choosing the first presented fair value gaps. So he's using this one because it's the most discount one, I believe. Look how it's getting respected here. Then trade higher. We're on ES. If we look at ES, pull up ES. On ES, this fair value gap's the real first presented fair value gap, the first one you would get. It's more of like a narrative thing. Okay, we trade up into the SIBI here. Now I do want to see this low get taken. Okay, my charts aren't lagging anymore, which is nice. Why isn't it showing me? Oh, because it's on this. Alright, if you look like on the 15-minute time frame, I just sent this in the Discord. By the way, if you're new here, want to join my Discord, it's in the description, completely free. What seems more likely? We just took buy side, and then we have sell side remaining in the chart. I'm gonna end the live stream here, or maybe within like 15 minutes. I always say here, but then I always extend it. I want to see the opening range gap. Notice how we're within that here. Opening range gap high, and then you have 930 open down here. Yeah, I'm gonna end live stream. Hopefully you all have a good rest of your day. I will see you guys maybe later today or tomorrow. Like I've been saying, like nothing for me to trade or engage today. Like this day can completely go out without me, and that's completely fine. Have a good one, y'all.